Welcome to another episode of After Bedtime. That's the third time I've done that, so that's why I'm laughing so hard. All right. I guess, I didn't say
her name.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of After Bedtime with Steven and
Kelsey.
Awesome. All right, and we're going to start things off by Kelsey giving us a little 101 class on this annoying little gadget she purchased that makes me think somebody is in my car with me every time I turn our car off.
Do you have a picture of it?
No, I don't have anything pulled up yet.
It's called the CleverElly, I believe, and it is...
You believe or you know?
With me reading it, that's how it looks to me. CleverElly. And it was designed with the thought of helping parents, because I set all pride aside here. Every parent's like, that will never happen to me, of leaving a child in the car. But I mean,
what is this thing you're talking about? And what does it do?
You plug it into your vehicle.
What is this thing right here in this woman's hand? Or this man's hand? I don't know. I thought it was a woman's hand, but maybe it's a man's hand.
I think it's a man's hand. It's supposed to be able to give a reminder to a parent that their child is in the back seat.
Oh, it does that.
And I know that our children are older, and it's probably less needed because they can, like, speak and stuff. And I haven't really ever had a moment where I'm like, don't realize that they're back there. But I think it's just an amazing idea because, I mean, it does happen. Parents have done it. Hopefully all of them is accidental.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really clever idea. It just is really freaky when you turn your car off and someone says, check the back seat.
That's not how it sounds. It has 6 different ways to remind you so that you don't ever get comfortable with one sound or like one saying. And you plug it into your car, into like the kind of cigarette lighter part.
No, you plug it into the cigarette lighter part.
I just said that. You plug it into the cigarette lighter part. And it also, it's kind of double function.
And you get 2 USBs out of it.
I was going to say that. You plug it in, and it's a bonus because you get 2 USBs to be able to charge your phone and stuff as well. But then whenever you turn off your vehicle, it says like different sayings, but it says essentially, wait, check the back seat.
I feel like I've only heard like 2. And they're always in a very deep man voice. It's like, check the back seat.
That's not how it sounds at all. But they have also another option, because I guess a lot of cars, they're something about how like whenever you push the button to turn your car on and off. Option? I'm saying it. So I guess there's an option to where you can like somehow attach it to your door so that if you don't have the connection to your cigarette lighter part plug-in, you can also do it that way as well. I got it just for, that peace of mind. I haven't had a moment where I've almost done that, but
if it can happen to one of us, it can happen to anyone.
That's what I'm saying. I think all parents should set pride aside in the situation and just do whatever they can to protect their babies.
Plus, you should just support products you believe in, right?
Yeah. I think it's a really great idea.
You did awesome, babe. Good job.
Thanks. It got here really quick. Shipping was great.
Such a thoughtful and important, serious topic that you wanted to share with us all. And now I want to move into talking about the Winter Soldier and the Falcon series on Disney. Buy things that remind you to check the back seat so you don't leave your kids in the back seat. Now let's talk about some Disney Plus.
I found it because I'm on a car seat.
You're on TikTok.
No, it's not TikTok. It was Instagram. It's like safe in the seat or something like that.
Social media can be informative. I've learned a lot of things off TikTok and Instagram.
She has like a whole entire like business out of this now of like helping parents feel confident with how they secure their kid in their car seat. And I've learned a lot even for myself, like how I buckled myself in the vehicle was wrong.
Hey, look at us.
I'm just saying, you
Look
gotta
at
build
us.
the confidence to protect your kids in the car.
Who would have thought?
I'm not making fun of that. I found valid things to even protect myself, that I was not buckling myself properly.
Don't you remember Paul Rudd on Hot Ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Okay, so have you been aware that Disney Plus has a new show? We talked about this once before. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And the headline that I found that I wanted to talk about says, "The Falcon and Winter Soldier feels like a great Marvel movie." And I totally agree with that, but I want to see what you felt about that, because I watched WandaVision and I did not like WandaVision.
I liked it towards the end. There was a lot of moments where you're like, what?
I did not like how they took her and made her real bad. Real evil.
Well, some people may not have seen WandaVision.
Oh, yeah. Spoiler alerts. Okay, we'll move on from that. But I really like this show so far because it actually feels like a legit Marvel thing.
I do have one issue with some of these.
Did you watch the second episode yet?
Not yet.
Are we gonna do spoilers or not? No, spoilers.
No. I'm not spoiling.
Now
anything.
you have me all self-conscious about being able to talk about these things because I don't want to ruin it for other people.
Well, I mean, we could just talk about how we feel about it. I mean, like, it's not like we're.
I think a lot of people are digging it.
I agree. I do think people are digging it. My issue with the spin-off of these Marvel things is that they're releasing information that makes you, like, have to go back and watch some of the movies because you're like, wait.
Hey, put that over there. Opie, it's too loud. I'm trying to record a podcast.
Taking a drink.
Calm down.
You calm down.
We're trying to record a podcast over here.
I take slight issue in that. Like, I'm sure it may have been a part of the storyline before. It's just people didn't catch it.
That's what people love about Marvel. They like the wiki and they like to go down the fandom and be like, oh, did you remember that one thing?
I know, but like now it's like the whole big issue of like, was Nick Fury Nick Fury?
I don't know. But the longer that question stays around, the deeper people can live in this reality. It's so much fun. I recommend it. I think you should go watch it.
No, I recommend it. No, I recommend both because there's information in WandaVision that you need to have.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion. You were asking our opinions, and I gave my opinion.
I really shouldn't say, okay, like, no, you shouldn't watch it, because to your point, yes, if you're like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
you're gonna miss stuff if you don't.
Yeah, you got to be up on these things. Okay, next headline.
Because now everything is so like intertwined that if you miss something,
get a Disney Plus subscription just for the Marvel content. Second headline is this was one that I saw that was really strange. Super Nintendo World opens in Osaka, Japan. Right, so like I was saying, like, you know how you're such a big fan of Disney World and Disneyland.
I've never been to Disneyland.
Yeah, but you always talk about like going there and like.
Well, I want to go just because it's like.
And so then I thought.
So
then I saw this and I was like, wow, a Nintendo World. That's actually not a bad idea.
That would be awesome. I would go to a Nintendo World.
Like I would put the Nintendo.
I don't really want to go to like Japan to have to go.
And it's also kind of interesting that it's opening at the time it's opening, right? It's like it's kind of during COVID times, like. You would think that this would be something that you would not want to open when maybe you're going to struggle getting people into the park. But
well, I think they're just hopeful that we're kind of like with the vaccines and stuff that we're kind of
moving past
the end.
I would go though. Would you go?
I would go.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to go all the way to Japan to go, but
yeah, like I would need to have other reasons to go to Japan. I've
already bought our tickets.
No, you did
We're
not.
Going to be there just for 24 hours.
But I love Mario. I would, that 100%, if it was a little bit closer, I would go.
Okay, this is my This is my favorite headline for this episode because it's so nerdy. Okay, so do you remember those commercials that was like, "Hi, I'm a Mac. Hi, I'm a PC," and it was Justin Long as the Mac guy, and it was the PC guy was like a really like, I mean, he looked like a really white nerdy guy with like glasses and a suit. Do you remember those?
I mean, I'm sure if I saw a video, it would jog my memory.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds vaguely familiar.
I wonder if this has it in here. Let's listen here for a second. Come on, internet.
There's no sound.
Oh, there's no sound. Oh no. Well, that's not what I want to do.
Yeah, but why? Like, so it's a big deal because he was the Mac guy.
Let's see over here.
But wasn't there like a big deal when the Sprint guy switched?
Hello, I'm a.
Yeah. I mean, like, but that's why I find it so funny because, like, so, anyways, to give context, Justin Long.
Just a real person. A real comparison between Mac and PC. Come on.
He started off as the Mac guy. So he was the guy that was like, I'm the cool, laid back dude.
I know, but it wasn't like really like Justin Long playing that. It was just like a character.
Yes, he was a character.
Yeah.
He was I'm Mac and I'm PC, and then they would rag on each other.
Because he was like the young
and they were Apple.
cool.
They were Apple commercials, and so now there's this ongoing war between Intel and Apple, sort of, kind of, but like basically Apple is now making their own chips, and they're no longer buying Apple chips or Intel chips, and so Intel made this commercial where they basically hired Justin Long to be himself, comparing PCs that have Intel chips in them to the new Macs that don't have Intel chips. So it's kind of like the ultimate like nerdy revenge way of getting back.
These are all PCs.
How much did they have?
Oh yeah, Intel. Nice.
Maybe he just needed work.
It's just unlocked up. It's so cool. And I've never seen a screen like this before on a laptop. Wow. And let's see over here. So these are the newer Macs?
Yeah.
Okay. So gray and grayer. Hello, I'm a Mac.
Hello, I'm a PC.
Yeah.
We have a lot in common these days.
We both run Microsoft Office. We share files. It's great. We just get
But
along.
I like that, like, whoever was in the marketing department for Intel was like, let's take a shot at this a little bit. Kind of like what you said, like, who was it?
I don't know the guy's name, but he was like
the Verizon guy.
He was
to Sprint.
No, he was the Sprint guy.
No, he was a Verizon. Can you hear me now?
Oh,
and then he went to Sprint. I don't know. I like that. I like it when corporate people have a sense of humor.
It's just the same as Wendy's Twitter.
Wendy's Twitter, savage.
Yeah,
they get after it. I wonder if there's ever been any exchanges between Wendy's Twitter and Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I don't know.
We need to do a deep dive on that.
I would like to see. I know just about every like big corporation has had some sort of exchange.
I should
in those
convince
wars.
my work to get a Twitter account like that where you just blast other people's software. Like, yeah, great, and watch the spinny little wheel turn up or something. I don't know, something.
That was great.
Something to make fun of really slow software.
And a lot of people will be like, I don't understand what they're saying.
Okay, fair enough. I think maybe you need to put some in the news headlines in here to shake things up because it's all becoming very Steven-like in its content.
The Nintendo thing is me as well, and the Marvel.
And the Marvel, that's true. Okay, I guess that last one's just me.
I don't. The issue is I don't really read the news.
What, you just get it from me?
Yeah. I get it from you and
Steven's
like
Daily Digest.
You and social media.
Good old TikTok.
It's not just TikTok.
I would say if I look at my social media right now, TikTok is my most used social media.
I would think Instagram's probably mine.
Really? I don't know. I'm just kind of like.
I really like watching the stories.
I used Facebook and Instagram a lot for posting things, but I use TikTok more than anything for consumption of things.
I don't like Facebook anymore because Facebook's like one of the most negative environments ever now.
Okay, millennial.
Just feeling
Here,
my feelings.
Are you the same person that's like taking a break from Facebook for 30 days?
No, I don't do that. But I'm sure a lot of people are like, Kelsey's never on social media. She doesn't post anything. I really don't. I don't post.
You're like one of those like stalker Facebook users.
I just
like,
forget to post stuff. Like I don't.
Listen.
I never think, oh, everyone would like to see this.
Listen, we need to put our serious faces on so we can get down to business here, so we can get to the video gaming. Okay, this is
the fact that you're rushing me makes me want to just like halt everything.
That reminds me of the thing that you sent me the other day, where it was like, don't tell me to do something, because when you tell me to do something, it makes me not want to do that. Yeah, that was on TikTok, wasn't it? Yeah, that was a funny video. No, but this is like the serious part. We're going to talk about real serious things.
Nothing we talk about is like truly deep.
World
serious.
leaders are coming to our podcast to hear our insights. Okay. All right, so the question I have...
Because I want to listen to that Midwestern couple.
The question I have for us this evening is, how has parenting changed for us?
I think it's just our family that listens.
It may be. Are you trying to make fun of me?
Just to say.
God. How has parenting changed for us in the last 4 or so years? I mean, I know Cal's like almost 5, but like, how has it, like, and just like some follow-up questions to think about that may jog your memories, like things then versus things now, right? So like things when Cal was little, or things when Kyler was like first born versus what they're like now. Or maybe how you thought it was going to be versus how it's been. Maybe like the contrast there. I'm going to let you go first. Also, I just closed all the rings on my watch.
Whoa.
Finger guns.
Don't ever do that again. Well, it's different because they're toddlers, and it's like it's turned into like sweet cuddle mode all the time. Like, oh, they need me for everything. Like, love to like,
no, what?
We're just trying to survive.
Oh, okay, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, they don't do that now. You said it had turned.
I said it turned from.
I'm feeling parched.
Get your own drink then. I said it turned from being all sweet, cuddly, like they stayed in one spot. Like, no joke, the first months that we brought Cal home, I was like, I'm so good at this.
You are good at it.
I know I'm a good mom to them, but I mean, like, I was like, house is clean, laundry's done, like, he's happy. And also, that's the other thing is, like, Cal was the happiest baby ever and loved everyone. And as long as he was fed, and really, as long as he was fed, he didn't care.
Yeah, but how's that different than now?
It's just survival mode all the time. Like, it's mass chaos. It's loud. Like, but I don't take issue with that. I don't struggle with that. It's just
today you don't like, I've got the dishes done.
I don't feel like that.
Everyone's alive.
Yep.
Good on me.
Yep. No one got severely hurt.
You know, they say that's one of the keys to like contentment is happiness is to lower your expectations.
This is the funniest thing ever because it's on TikTok, and it's the scene where Thor is running through that circle, and the guy's like, he's like, yeah, it's just a big circle, not like a normal circle, kind of like a freaky circle, and he's like, nothing makes sense. The only thing that makes sense is that nothing makes sense. Well, every single parent in the world has taken that and put that into like parenthood. Like the first stages are like the newborn parents are like running, and then like the toddler parents, and then the teen parents. Like the teen parents are always like drinking in the corner, and it's just I think it's super funny.
That makes me think of like the new parents are like Thor in the first Thor movie, and then the teenage parents are Thor when they have to go find him and
he's like depressed.
Yeah, he's
and
got
fat.
a big old beer gun. He's just like playing
An
video.
alcoholic.
He's like yelling at, he's like rage yelling at people on the video game.
That's how, I just like the part where the newborn parents are like, is this a circle? They're like, yeah, it's a circle. It's not a normal circle. It's kind of like a freaky circle. It makes me laugh. Like, no matter how many different parents I see do it, it's funny.
That makes that, so basically that's what's happened with me and you too. It's like, before you were like, oh, he's so great, he does all this stuff, and now it's like, I don't have to do anything because you've lowered your expectations way down, right? Like,
no, you still need to do stuff. It's just that they're.
I was hoping that applies to all.
No, my expectations for the day for me are low.
I don't know. I think keeping 2 people alive is pretty good. Call that a pretty good day.
I'm keeping 2 people I'm keeping 3 people and
I'm
2
doing just
dogs.
Fine. I'm doing just fine.
It has nothing to do with you. I'm keeping myself alive is what I'm saying. 3 people and 2 dogs alive. If everyone is like not majorly injured by the end of the day and everyone has clothing to wear the next day, I call that success.
That's good, Kelsey. That's good.
Yeah.
This is a conversation, though. It would be nice if you asked me some questions.
What are things?
Yeah.
Things that are different versus then and now.
You're like, I've said my answer. It's over.
I didn't know you wanted me to like ask you back. The question has already been asked. I thought you were just gonna like start talking.
Well, I thought that's how things work.
Apparently, that needs to be part of the pre-game.
I feel like there's
before you hit record because you think it's really funny to hit record before Kelsey even knows what the heck's going on.
Yeah, I want you to be like fresh and off the cusp and not prepared.
Well, she's awkward either way.
That she is.
Are you going to answer the damn question?
What's the question?
What I just answered.
Yeah, that question. Yes, I will answer that. The thing that's changed the most about parenting between now and then is the level of effort. Like, people tell you that, like...
Well, I was doing... I mean, in the beginning, because the kids were eating...
No, I mean just like in general, like the complexity of the effort you had to put forth. Like people talk about like babies, like there's so much effort. Like yes, but like no at the same time.
I know, but I don't want to like devalue someone else's like world on that because some people struggle hard.
I'm speaking from my own perspective. I'm sharing what's different. Okay. So I'm not accosting you listeners, all you thousands. It's just like everyone preps you for the baby stage, but no one is like, okay, every year they get older, they become more complex, and the level of effort to satisfy their needs gets greater and greater. Not only in its level of effort that it takes, but the complexity that it takes.
Well, I feel like
a kid, like a baby is very simple.
You get kind of both though, because like
you feed the baby, you make sure the baby's slept plenty, you hug it a lot, you kiss it a lot, it's good. It's like that. That's what
clean.
That's what I want. But then you get a toddler, and the toddler wants your love, and he wants your affection, and he wants your admiration.
Really, toddlers give no shits.
They want to play. They want their toys. They want the food they want.
Is high.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So that's been a surprise for me.
I really think that I'm struggling more with the ages that Cal's becoming because he's like becoming a little human and he's like trying to wheel and deal with me on everything. Yeah. Or like the lying has started. That's really starting to bother me because I'm like,
that's what I mean. It's just like everything is like so
innocent.
You're like navigating all this. Like I can't just like give him a bottle and he's satisfied. So that's been tough. But excuse me. I think
they're more fun though.
Oh, they're a ton more fun
I love the baby stage though. Give me all the babies.
Fun now.
I love babies.
Okay. But here's the thing that's really been a shocker to me. So when you're parenting, you think, okay, here's my strategy for parenting. This is the kind of parent I'm going to be. These are the things that I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have your first kid, and like you hit some of those on the nail, and it's great. Then there are some big misses, but you quickly adjust and you adapt, and you're like pretty soon, like you're a year or two in, and you're like, I've got this down. I know what I'm doing.
I through the baby stage, I was like, yeah, 100%. After that, I'm like, I'm just holding on.
That's how I'm feeling up until about a year and like 9 months when the second one gets here. And the second one is so different than the first one. And everything you did with the first one doesn't quite work the same way it does with the second one.
Yeah, but Kyler, man, that kid will sleep.
No, it's like their personality. It's like the way they communicate, the way they talk, the things they like, the things they don't like.
Kyler has a fiery.
They're just so like, and nobody like, I don't know. I guess I would have guessed that there was more like more things that are common across both kids. It's like, I compared this kid this way, I compared this kid that way, I know,
but haven't you ever heard of like every child is different, every adult?
Well, I just figured that had to do with like parents like getting lazier, like as the kids came. Like they just like, we care a whole lot on the first one, we don't care so much on the second one, we don't give a shit on the third one. Like I thought that was more just like a byproduct of like the division of effort and the division of labor as the kids multiply. But like literally,
I think the
which
number
may be part of it.
The number child, I think that is 100% true.
Oh, the birth order, the birth order theory, or whatever. Yeah, I agree with that
because you have one, it tricks you into having another one. Another one's like the people who go on to have more kids. The second one's normally like didn't scare you that much, but normally like the third or fourth, kind of like you're like, whoa, okay. I'm done. Our second one is not. I love him with everything in me, but he is fiery.
Future Kyler's like in the future. He's like 30 years old, and hopefully, maybe at some point, he's
you
curious.
Are fiery,
and he is listening to this, and all of a sudden, you're gonna be sitting at home like randomly in 2050 or whatever it is, and you're gonna get a phone call, and it just Kyler, and you pick it up, and he's like, "Thanks for calling me out on your podcast 20 years ago, Mom." And you're gonna be like, "Sorry, honey."
I'm gonna be like, "Well, you're proving what I said on my podcast right."
It's the truth. It's the truth.
He's got a fiery passion inside of him, and he is in those stages where he thinks he knows.
Did I just break my watch?
What he's talking about. And
no, I didn't break it. Don't worry, guys.
He's pretty intense about things.
See, I don't really have any advice for any parent. I just hold on tight. I've told you this. My coworker at my old job, she used to always say, like when shit was hitting the fan and there was so much work, we didn't quite know how we were all going to manage it or what we were all going to do with it. And she used to just say, "Well, this is like a roller coaster. We're just going to climb on. And we're just going to hang on until it stops." And like, that's kind of the only advice for parenting.
I know, but like, I also want to like,
there's going to be a lot of highs, a lot of lows.
I also want to admit
and just when
that,
you
like,
think it's going to hook right, it's going to turn left.
I also want to admit though that our kids are pretty damn awesome.
No, our kids are fun, but I just
didn't realize that I thought the intensity was going to come when they were like preteens, teens. I didn't know that it was like
coming in hot.
As soon as they're walking and talking full-fledged, it's like you got to hold on for dear life.
Yeah,
and
the
hope.
only constant in life is change, and that's kids. Like one day you wake up and they don't like chicken nuggets anymore. And then the next day they wake up and they decide they don't like chocolate milk. And then one day they come back to you and say they do want chocolate milk. And then
for like a day and a half.
Like today, you go to buy donuts and you buy them 4 donuts and they only eat 1 donut.
Oh, he ate like 3.
But if I bought 1 donut, then he'd want like 6 donuts. It's a tough thing, man. It's a tough thing satisfying other people's needs.
Yeah.
We're trying really hard though.
Yeah.
And that's all you can do, right?
Yeah.
All right, what else do you want to talk about? That was kind of my thing, but we're really kicking along here. This is gonna be our shortest podcast ever if we move on to the end.
I mean, you have nothing else to talk about the kids?
No, I've just been thinking about that a lot, especially with Kyler. As he gets older, and I talk to him more and more, I'm just like you are so different, and I don't know how to do all this.
But his language, he talks very similar to how Cal spoke. He talks.
And
I know a lot of people would be very shocked by that because that whenever he's in crowds, he's not like that, which is kind of funny because that's how you used to be.
No, I'm the same way still. I'm like, people don't force me to come out of my shell.
I think you have
But if I want to come out of my shell,
I think you've made some coping mechanisms because, in some certain situations, you have to do it.
You make a living. Sometimes you have to force yourself to do things you don't
that's
want
what
to do.
I'm trying to say.
If I'm amongst people like him and they're poking me dance, monkey, dance. And I'm like, no, I'm not dancing for you.
Yeah.
And that's how Tyler is.
When I first started dating you, everyone said that to me. They were like, he's so quiet and he's so angry and mad at everybody all the time. I can't get him to shut up, so I don't know who you're talking about.
I find it funny too, I find it funny with our kids too, how you can some things that you find hard to recognize about yourself become so readily apparent when it's reflected back to you and your kids. I've thought about this with Kyler and the way he is in his social interactions, kind of his instinctual interactions with people, where he kind of
he just says no.
Yeah, he's
to everyone.
If anyone tries to insert energy into him, he's
just gonna shut
it down. But if he wants to give energy, then it's it's never ending. And then I see Cal today, or the last couple of days with Lane coming over to ride our Peloton. And I see how Cal is where he just sucks. He just it reminds me of Dragon Ball Z.
Social interaction,
Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
he just he loves it.
I had to remind him 4 times. I'm like, okay, Lane's gonna start working out now.
And then I look at you and I'm like, that is what happens when you interact with other people. You become this other person. It's this supernatural energy takes hold of your body.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it so is, because you could look at him and you just see his face, and it's the same thing that happens.
Well, I think I tend to match the energy that's in the room.
There's just this extroverted thing, and it's just, I don't know. I'm not an extrovert.
It was so sweet though, because this morning Lane was trying to keep talking to him.
Oh, Kelsey, the squad's calling.
No, they can chill out. Yeah, and I'm a little mad at them because you were being super loud last night.
Hold on, we can't.
Because you
got to finish your thought process on the kids.
I was saying it was really sweet because Lane was trying to keep talking to him, because Lane is also an extrovert and wants to keep talking. But I finally had to go and.
But he's also pedaling the bike
Well, not that bad, but not yet anyway. But he just was trying to keep talking to him, and so finally I was like, Cal, you gotta stop and let Lane work out. And then Kyler just was like, nah.
Versus grumpy dad who rides the bike, who's like, stop talking to me.
Yeah. Poor Cal's like, why does he not like me?
No.
That's not true. But it's funny because when Lane was here, Kyler was yelling no at him the whole entire time, and then he leaves, and I'm like, Cal, tell Lane goodbye. Cal's like, bye, and Kyler's like, bye. Have a great day.
Yeah, because he wants to be around people. He just doesn't want people to be pressured onto him.
I have to remind people all the time
cat,
that he's like a cat. That's what I was going to say. He's like a cat. You got to let him come to you.
Okay, so hold on real quick. What were you critiquing me about in the way I played video games?
You were so loud.
Oh, you know what this makes me think of? I don't know why my brain went here. But yes, sometimes...
It's like the past, when we were living in the apartment.
When you guys if you like to play video games, then you know that sometimes when you got your headset on and you're in an intense thing, you lose.
I get now why Cal struggled in that room.
No, I wasn't that loud.
Yeah.
I wasn't that loud.
I would be like getting into a point of like into the days of like getting ready to go into the sleep, and then I would hear you, and it made me so mad.
So much
because
fun.
the past
So
couple
much
years
fun.
I've been struggling going to sleep.
It's like The Office. Call of Duty. The lights go off. You know, have you seen that one? Have you seen that Office episode? You have not seen
think
it?
so.
Okay, well,
I mean,
guess
like I probably have.
Call the lawyers in the morning and arrange the papers. Man, that reminds me of The Office not being on Netflix. That makes me really sad.
Oh.
I'm just going to buy all of them. Buy all the seasons of The Office.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to do that.
And then I'm going to buy all the Harry Potters, and then I'm going to buy all the Twilight.
So, like, you were talking about how, like, guys are loud when they're playing video games?
Not guys. I'm sure girls can be loud, too.
People are loud when they're playing video games. Fight the patriarchy.
I'm just saying, there's girl gamers.
When I say
as well.
guys, I don't mean I don't mean to like exclude women.
It's 2021 now, bro. You can't do that.
You need to get woke, son.
Yeah.
There's this. Okay, so people play video games loud, but that made me think of this. In my brain, this is going to sound stereotypical, but on TikTok, there was this thing that was going around about people working from home, and it was like, okay, every guy working from home, and the guy has like 3 monitors, over-the-ear headphones, the loudest possible keyboard he can find, and then the girls working from home are like on a MacBook Air on their couch with it on their lap, just like relaxing and like working from home, right? And I thought that's like the perfect contrast of men and women. Men take everything way more than it needs to be, and women do what makes sense and what's sensible and moderate.
I would like you to repeat that because no person has ever said that out loud. That women do things that make sense.
Well, no, I mean
and that guys are the over
like
the top
they
ones.
do what's like comfortable, what's what's I don't know what feels like more reasonable, and guys are like, well, yeah, we gotta have 6 monitors.
Well, he's got to make his work environment like the same exact thing. To the guy who has like 2 monitors in here that he never touches.
Like, whatever, I'm on these things all the time.
Well, no, you're not. You're out there on your 6 monitors that are out there.
I've been pushed out to the garage. Remember, that's
you
how we
have
maintained.
Not
that's how we maintained.
Been pushed.
That's how we
did that yourself.
We shared that on the last podcast or the podcast before about how we, that's one of the things.
No, I think it is helped because I don't feel like you're on top of everything.
I'm getting really worried because the Call of Duty people, they're messaging me and they need me. They won't win games without me.
Don't care.
I'm just kidding. Do you have any? I really, that was my only serious topic for this evening.
Well, you can move on to your something that lives in your head rent free.
I think you need to bring one of these to the table.
I can't, like, the fact that you're wanting me to do it in this instant right now.
Tell me to do something. And
I'm going to dig my heels in and not do it.
Okay, so this one, where did I get this quote? I don't have a video or anything or audio to share, but I have a quote. Where did this come from? Vamp for a second so I can remember where this quote came from. Tell a funny anecdote.
You can't, like, I'm not like a comedian
Dance monkey.
Be funny.
Be funny. Do your extroverted thing.
She's just gonna get more and more awkward.
I see this.
The more you put the attention on just her alone.
Maybe it doesn't matter. Hopefully, it'll come to me while I'm saying the quote. Okay, this quote is by a man. I don't know who Thomas Merton is, but this quote, that's who it's attributed to. But I love the quote. This quote says, "The beginning," and no, I don't have this memorized, and no, I don't repeat it word for word in my head, but it's just the sentiment. Wow, okay. They just want to hear the quote, is what you're saying. Is that what you're saying?
I don't even know what anybody wants.
What, that's listening?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're not really making this for them, so. I was going to say they can fuck off.
I was just waiting for it. I was like, man, that took a spin.
Okay, the quote says, "The beginning of love is the will to let those we love be perfectly themselves, and the resolution not to twist them to fit our own image. If in loving them..." You're yawning. You're yawning.
Doing it on purpose.
"If in loving them we do not love what they are, but only their potential likeness to ourselves, then we do not love them. We only love the reflection of ourselves we find in them." And I thought that was like super profound, because it's like one of the hardest things to do, right? It's like just like accept someone for who they are and love them. Instead, so many of our relationships, we just want to take that person and we want to fix them.
Nobody will admit that they do that, and nobody will. Like, I don't feel like people are that in touch with themselves to realize that they're even doing it.
Well, that's sad. You get some self-awareness, people.
I'm just saying, I think a good majority of people are not self-aware.
Like, it makes me think of another quote by Bob Goff, where it was like, he said something to the effect of like, is it Bob Goff? I think it was Bob Goff. But there's a quote that's something like, "I used to want to fix people, and now all I want to do is be with people." And it's like that. It's like when you can come to that position of like, I'm not going to try to manipulate this person or love this person conditionally or twist them to fit our image of them, but just like be okay with that person.
Do you struggle with not twisting me?
No, this weighs heavily on me because it's something I think about all the time. I just like, it is what it is. People are who they are.
That is gonna be your famous quote that like goes with you.
It is what it is. Coach Schultz used to always ask me like, "What do you think, Steven?" And I used to always be like, "It is what it is." Like, he'd be like, "What do you think about doing this? What do you think about doing that?" It's like, well, it doesn't really matter, because we're gonna do that and we're gonna do that. And so
if I say it is what it is to anyone, people are like, "Okay, Steven."
Yeah, it is what it like. What it doesn't matter, right? It's like why waste your energy and your time on it?
I really do think that I've kind of started to adopt that into my life. I've kind of like,
and it is what it is sounds lackadaisical and it sounds somewhat dismissive, but if you think of it, that is really just a derivation of the Serenity Prayer. It's the recognition. It's the recognizing of things which you have no control over and cannot change.
I mean, like, I still struggle with that part of my life,
everyone.
But I think I do.
That's why there's the Serenity Prayer. You're supposed to say these things to remind yourself of these things.
When I was like younger, I wanted to somehow like tattoo something like a word from that. I wanted to cross and to have like a couple words from the Serenity Prayer to like jog my memory whenever I was having anxiety. I wanted to tattoo that on me.
That's what I want to get tattoos of. That's why I want to get tattoos, is as tokens of like, I feel like to me that's like, people think that like you're like Marcus Aurelius said, like your mind is based on like your thoughts are like ink, like what you soak your mind in, right? Like they're like that colors your brain, it colors your mind. And like that makes me like, people sometimes think, well, like, how do I have the right mindset, or how do I have the right motivation, or how do I? And I don't think it's like a point in time thing. Like, I don't think just one day you wake up and you're like, today I'm going to be happy and positive and all. Like, I think it's a daily, minute to minute, hour to hour thing. Yeah. And you need to have pictures, you need to have clothing, you need to have like all sorts of things that constantly push you to like your ideal mindset, your ideal person. Like, you need those reminders. So I always thought like the two I want to get them right on the webbing between my index finger and my thumb, because that's like parts of your body that you literally look at every day. Yeah. Hundreds of times a day.
I wanted to get the cross right here, and I wanted it to have like courage or something like that.
We're going to have to make a blood pact to do this. We're going to have to get tattoos.
I have gotten to the age where I'm now scared.
I'm so scared of how bad it will hurt.
Yeah, I
I watched the video
what's
today.
so funny is a
I
lot
watched
of
the
people
video.
are always like, "You had kids,"
Oh, I'm so
and I'm
scared.
like, I'm terrified.
Well, here's what I'm terrified of. I actually listened to a story today that made real my fear. So that today I watched this video about this YouTuber Peter McKinnon. I subscribed to his channel, and he made a video that he put out today about all his tattoos, and he's like tatted up everywhere. But he was telling a story about the first tattoo he got on the inside of his finger, and it says rounder. And he was like, yeah, it's the first one I got on the inside of my finger. And he said, he's like, when they got to round, I wanted to quit. And I told myself it was just going to be an inside joke because of how much it hurt.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get the E and the R.
But I've heard that like when it, like there's not a lot of meat
but
there.
I'm afraid like the two I want to get is I want to get they call this is not dark or twisted, but I want to get like a skull here. And the reason for that is the Stoic philosophers used to have these like skulls in paintings. Like they would put them like coins. They'd carry like coins with a skull on it because it's they call it a memento mori, or like a reminder of your death, right? It's like that Jon Snow poster we have.
It's over there.
That's like, yeah, it's Valar Morghulis or whatever that word is, but basically it means like all men must die. It's a reminder of your mortality, that like the time you have is finite. Do what you want with it. Blah,
That
blah,
is
blah.
kind of dark.
No, it's not.
That's kind of dark.
People think it's dark, but when you take that in context of like YOLO, right? You only live once. It's the same sentiment. It's like the time is now.
It's just like it's a smart dark version.
So I
of
want to go on
YOLO.
that, and then I also wanted to get like something to symbolize like love and grace on the other one, because I felt like those would be like the most important things to be reminded of. But I'm so afraid of going to get them and them being like halfway through it, and me being like, I'm done doing it.
The only
And
thing
then for
is,
the rest
that
of my
you
life, I have half
you
of it.
tend to get very angry when it comes to like pain or like sickness, but I think you are so stubborn in return that you wouldn't allow yourself.
Maybe
to...
we need to lean into this fear a little bit, and we need to. On that note,
Yeah, let's put the cross that has courage for the Serenity Prayer on there, right next to the Harry Potter tattoo that Kelsey has always wanted. Because that will make a whole. I really wanted
that
forever.
would make for a funnier story though if we were to go.
But
and then
mine
we
are
come
like
up,
bigger, and
then
that
we come out
scares
with
me.
then we come out with half tattoos. Both of us just have these like half done tattoos for the rest of our lives, and people are like, "What is that?" And we're just like, it's.
I became a big huge pansy and couldn't finish the tattoo. I'm sure we would probably be fine. It's just
Well, if my brother can do it, come on.
I mean, your sister has some. Your sister has a few.
My mom has one. My sister has one. My brother has one.
Yeah, Tyler's got a big, huge one.
We're the only ones who aren't brave
Right?
enough.
Isn't it on his shoulder?
I don't know. Now that you say that, I don't even know if he has one.
Tyler has a tattoo.
This is like the Matrix, where you're like, what reality was that?
Well, now I'm worried that I was
that a
thinking,
glitch?
That I was thinking, no, Tyler has a tattoo.
Good. I'm glad we could establish that.
I'm pretty sure. My mom.
All right. Well,
my mom has one too.
we've established that we're just living for the next day as parents, and that we're too afraid to get tattoos. So this was a very successful podcast.
Yeah. I was really always scared that like my group of friends would be like, we're going to get tattoos. And then it would become a situation where like everyone was there and Kelsey has already like said she would.
But the peer pressure would get you
But
through
the peer
it.
pressure would get me because that's how Kelsey is.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by for another invigorating and interesting and very entertaining episode of After Bedtime.
I hope they're entertaining.
If you made it this far and you enjoyed it, please find us on Instagram. I'm at Steven.Freeborn. Kelsey's at KFreeborn412. Send us some messages. Let us know what you thought. If you're listening or watching on YouTube, leave us comments. Are you running away? You look like you're ready to leave. What are you gonna do? Yeah, so we'll talk to you guys in the next episode.
Good night.
I never know if you're gonna say anything.
I'm just leaning into the awkwardness now.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. All right. Bye. See you. Bye.
Push over